All right, hey, thanks. When Mara called me up and mentioned beers and pitchers, I had a whole different thing in mind. So I'm P.T. Wood. I'm owner and founder at Woods High Mountain Distillery up in beautiful Salida, Colorado, on the banks of the mighty Arkansas River. I put some pretty pictures in because pictures of what I'm going to be talking about really aren't great. So, all right, so kind of mine it's a bit of a two-phase problem, and I'm hoping that somebody can figure out some way to interweave a solution between the two problems. And so in distillation, we have our process water, which is basically using hundreds and maybe thousands of gallons of clean, potable water, and it goes from cold water to hot water, and then we dump it down the drain, essentially. And then we have wastewater, which is basically the stillage that is left over after the distillation. And that can be really high in BOD, a lot of suspended solids in there, typically low pH, and there may be a little bit of residual alcohol left in there. Hopefully not a lot if you're doing your job right, but a little bit. And then, not unlike a few of the other guys that are here, it takes a lot of cleaning on our equipment. So that includes a lot of chemicals, some alkaline, some acidic, but it's kind of messy stuff. And then there's the byproducts of the distillation, both the heads and tails. And if you guys want to talk about distillation and what those things are, catch me a little bit later here. And so you solve this problem, who are you going to sell it to? Well, in my world, the distilleries, there's about 1,400 of us across the country. And about 90% of us are small, my size, about 2,000 cases a year, which equates to about $1 million in revenue or less per year. Most of us are either lacking in recapture systems or treatment systems, or the ones that we're using are fairly rudimentary. On average, a distillery will use about 11 gallons of fresh water for 1 gallon of spirit. So we're running through a lot of water. So some of the existing solutions that are out there right now are using, and these are for the processed water stuff, where you can use some of that processed water, the hot water in your next mash. Your timing has to be right for that, and if you're softening your water so it doesn't mess up your equipment, you can't use it in your mash. Heat exchanger, so you can at least suck some of that heat out and use it for other processes and other keeping your building warm, things like that. And then some guys are using glycol chillers instead of water to cool, to condense their spirit. Although those tend to be fairly expensive solutions. For the dirty water, there's, right now, most guys will be doing one of the things on the, that side. The sewer, landfill, feed, or composting. And the sewer typically is fairly expensive, and a lot of municipalities won't take what you're dumping. High BOD, high TSS, low pH, all things that get the hackles up when you talk to your water treatment guy. Landfilling requires you to remove the solids from the water, so you have to have some separation processes there. Landfilling can be really expensive as well. Feed works great. Again, you have to be able to separate the solids out from the water, and then you have to have the rancher right there so you can get it to them while it's still fresh and hasn't rotted. Composting, again, you're going to have to separate the solids. Works great. You need a lot of space for it, and it can be incredibly stinky. Some of the really cool technologies that are out there that you can use are really expensive. So solid fuel boilers to turn your waste into steam, anaerobic digesters, again, same sort of thing, and wet gasification. Again, turning your waste into energy. Really, really expensive, so out of the reach of most of small guys. And so alcohol is an actual solution. No, those are the chemists that laugh. Sorry, that's my joke. But what we're hoping that you guys can do is bind a way together for us to use that processed water, the heat from the processed water, and put out a clean product and help minimize that discharge. So that's what we're looking for. I want to leave more water in the Arkansas River, and I want to put cleaner water back in the Arkansas River so I can go spend my days fishing on. All right, thanks.